Hey guys, I just wanted to make a video just to update you guys on what's been going on. I am about 2 weeks about to go into finals. Just been busy with everything. This quarter has been really intense, at least for me. But I've been making it through. But I just want to make a quick video to kind of keep you updated on everything because I haven't been able to respond to a lot of the posts or anything because of the fact that I've been studying like crazy. But just here's some of the thoughts. This quarter, going into this school year, I kind of felt like I had kind of sort of established myself in the sciences, where I kind of felt to where like maybe I didn't have to study as much to get those A's as I used to, because I have such a good knowledge base now. But that wasn't the case. At the end of the day, you just have to study and spend hours and hours studying. I mean, I went into it and I had to take a plant class, and I wasn't really interested in studying for it just because it's a plant class, because it's a 6-unit course and at the quarter system, which it's a lot. So I studied, but I didn't study as much. I would study like 3-4 hours here and there. I wasn't really going really in depth, and I took the first exam and I ended up getting a C, 70. I think it was a 78%, and it was just like I got and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, like I thought I'd studied for it. I mean, I knew some of the stuff, but I didn't think I did that bad, and so I had to go back and grind it out like I used to, and I sat and I just studied for hours and hours at a time, and I finally I aced the following midterm. So it wasn't because who's smarter this, who's smarter that. It was just the fact that you have to put in the hours in order to ace certain classes, and at certain levels they require you to do more than just normal to get those A's, because those A's are really hard to earn at the upper division sometimes, especially for that course. Also, I just wanted to, just because I was thinking about it the other day, I was like, I was driving around with my friend, and we were coming back from one of my EM2 refresher courses, and I looked at it and I was like, man, I honestly think now I might have a chance to actually get looked at by medical schools. I felt like I've established myself to, like, when I apply they might look at my application. And I told him, I was like, man, it feels good to know that I've gotten this far, and to say that that I have a chance now to actually, like I said, might possibly make it to med school. And my friend looked at me, he's like, man, you've had that thought in your head after you passed by 100, at a community college, that you thought that you might be looked at. You always believed in yourself, and it's true. I've always had that drive. I always believed that, that I could possibly make it to med school from the beginning of the journey, even when I couldn't even pronounce, certain words. I didn't even know what DNA was or anything like that. I always believed in myself. Inside, I believed it, but I never really actually vocalized it until maybe like 2 weeks ago when I told my friend. So it's been a crazy journey so far, and it takes me back to the days, because even now, when I didn't study for the exam and got a C because I didn't study enough hours for the exam, I had to think back, and I realized that what's making me do what I do, what's driving me to study those 8 hours and no sleep and no life and so forth, and I'm in almost my mid-20s at 24 years old. To what makes me do that? And I realized that I'm not sure. I mean, there was a summer I told previously to where I locked myself in my room and I just started studying, and I started reading basic, like, junior high school biology books in order to catch up to the college level, because I'd never taken a science course. So what drove me to lock myself in my room during the summer and just read books, and read my first book when I was 20 years old. I finally read my first book. I mean, people have been doing that to write their first book when they were in junior high. I didn't even get to until I was 20 years old. And so what drove me to be in my room, lock myself up, and read these books? I mean, I can tell you to this day, it was just something in me that I knew that I didn't want to be where I was. Or maybe the examples of my parents, when they were migrant farm workers, and how my mom even worked at a restaurant, working at in the back in a Chili's restaurant, and in her mid-40s, that maybe I wanted something different. Maybe I didn't want to be in that position when I got older, and I learned from others. I learned that maybe all that, maybe my experience growing up in underserved areas, maybe all that in the back of my mind, my subconscious, maybe pushed me to go in my room and read books. there was no reason why I should have. I mean, I could have just been out, going out and doing other things or working or something, but that summer, it really changed my whole, for the rest of my life, to tell you the truth. Because I established myself, and I made a work ethic, and I learned how to study. But nothing out there, no one would push me to do it. I just did it, and I don't even know why I did it. And one of my mentors in general surgery, that specializes in vascular surgery, my mentor, he told me the same thing too. He said that he came from Peru to the United States, and didn't even know English. And for some reason, he enrolled himself at a community college just because he was just working he was at a church, sleeping at the church. He didn't have anywhere to go, and just one day he decided to enroll at a community college and take English as a second language course to learn English. And he said that every week one of the advisors at the college would give him a list of 100 words, English words, and to define them and to know how to pronounce them. And he said he didn't know why every week he would go in his room and study these 100 terms and memorize them all and learn how to pronounce them. He said no one pushed him to. He said it wasn't even a class. He just would go to his counselor's office to get these terms that his counselor would make him. And it's true, and he said he didn't know what pushed him. He just did it. There was just a certain drive in him, and that's the same thing that happened to me during that summer. And to be honest with you, this whole journey to be where I am right now, it's just, there's so many things involved with it. It's not just because, I work hard or anything like else, but, what made me, be on a track of almost making it to medical school. It's not, it's not genetics, it's not anything else, because why am I the only one in my family to be where I am, where the rest of my family, like my younger brother works at Home Depot, or my other brother works at a military base, didn't really go, any of them didn't go to college, and my parents didn't go to college. But what made me separate from my other brothers, even though they had probably the same drive and everything else, and the same circumstances as I did, but I think what separated me, honestly, is luck. I've been lucky a lot of times, and if you read the book, a lot of people, if you read Outliers, the most successful people out there aren't the people that were different or so forth or were brilliant and all that. The most successful people were the ones that had the most breaks in life, and the people that just got lucky at certain times in their lives, maybe at the right timing, a right place at the right time. I mean, all that, I think, contributed to where I am today. I mean, when I went to community college, how lucky was I that I had a teacher that for some reason that quarter was really inspired to teach me science and take his time. I mean, how lucky was I that when when I went to a university, that the first friend that I made at the community, I mean, we were at a university, we were at a after school session to review for one of the general bio classes that, I had 70% failing rate. It was so tough. How lucky was I that I met up with this guy. I just sat next to this person, one of my best friends now. Out of all the people that were in the classroom, 200 people that went to the review, there was an open spot. I sat next to him. We became best friends. And who would have thought that he was like this genius kid, a 4.0 kid that we became friends ever since, that have pushed each other to not get below an A in any of our classes. And how lucky was I to meet up and pair with someone like that. I don't think if I would have met him and expanded to the group of friends that we've established, I don't think I would have been able to keep straight A's, because I don't think I would have been able to keep that motivation, or if I would have got a B in a class, I'd be like, oh, I got a B, whatever, the whole class. there was only 2 people that got A's, so, I would just be like, oh, well, I'll just settle with the B because everyone else got a B. But being in that group, meeting that friend, has led me to be that person to get straight A's, because they hold me to a higher standard, So how lucky was I to meet friends like that? How lucky was I to have professors that had the same kind of background as I did, to believe in me and to push me towards my goals. There's been, like I said, there's been a lot of breaks that I've had, but those breaks I don't think would have came if I didn't have the work ethic that I have established. So it seems to show there's a lot of things come into it. A lot of things play into it. At the end of the day, I think the moral of this whole thing is to work hard. Look what happened. I get a C in a test that I had to take, and then the second midterm had twice the material and was way more difficult, with way more topics and way more everything, and I was able to get an A in it. Not because I got smarter, had a higher IQ over a period of 2 weeks, it's because I decided to work hard. And at the end of the day, that's all it takes. and then just some beautiful drive in you. Like only God probably knows where it comes from. So just that. Good luck, everyone. I'll be busy studying for finals. I have everything spread out. These are all my worksheets. If you could see, I have a huge mess on this side of the table of all the things that I'm studying. But I probably won't be able to respond until maybe the first week after December, as I will be on grind mode for exams. And it's game on. Good luck, guys. There you go. Cool.